It's so good and nobody's watching. We have some of the best wrestling ever going on right now, and nobody's watching. It's not on TV. It's not on a major platform. It's not going crazy anywhere with the streaming. If you don't have Honor Club, get Honor Club. It's worth it. Go live.
Uh-oh.
Yes, boy!
French toast is the exchange student that you have like a 3-week affair with.
We can see that you don't have pants on.
Somebody hit somebody with a pie. Do something.
Giovanni yelling we're out of time as we go off the air.
Giovanni yelling a lot of things tonight.
And welcome to the Mark It Down podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome on this Friday night, Saturday morning, whatever it may be. Thank you for joining us here at the Mark It Down podcast. I am James Gisanti, and when we cover Ring of Honor, I don't have a funny name for it. It's not Gym Packed, it's ROH, and I'm happy to talk about it. We don't do it too often here on the pod. We don't really cover it the way we used to, and that's my bad. The reality is it's just hard to keep up with so much wrestling during the week, and ROH tends to not always have a lot going on, and when it does, it tends to be on AEW TV. Now, I've loved everything that we've gotten over the years since Tony Khan has bought the company, but it has sort of shifted how Ring of Honor is viewed. It's shifted how I view Ring of Honor at the very least. But we've had some great championship reigns. We've had some great matchups. And you know what? ROH to me is starting to really pick up. I'm not saying we're ever going to get back to the golden years of the early 2000s, but for where ROH is right now, I'm kind of content. If it got on any TV channel, I think we would have a really strong, fun product that more people would be watching just because of how good it is. But alas, we are where we are. We are on Honor Club, which had a lot of problems. We're going to talk about it as we get into this first match, which I'm sorry, guys, I can't really review. Honor Club was down. It was messing up. And it wasn't just me. I made sure it wasn't my internet. It was a matter of something was wrong with Honor Club to the point that Tony Khan has come out and said that they were aware of the problem. And anyone who has Honor Club and went through the issues tonight are going to get a month free of Honor Club. I think that's a really classy move. I think that's a really respectful move from Tony Khan. And again, it really only affected that first match. It didn't even affect the pre-show for me, but it did affect that first match. So I'm going to have a little bit of a hard time talking about the conglomeration versus the premier athletes. I was able to watch some of it. I was able to see some bits of it, but it's going to be hard for me to go over the entire show. We have a comment here from Mark It Down. Hi, Mark. Oh, hi, Mark. Tony has said that he's gotten TV offers for ROH, but he's turned them down because he wants to make sure they work with Warner Brothers Discovery. Thank you, Rev from the Quicksand. Oh, even the dog laughed at that. Still laughing. You're going to hear a little bit of that. Yep. This is what happens when you go alone on a Friday, Saturday night. Sometimes the dogs are going to bark, and it's going to be a little awkward. So I apologize, guys. Stick with me. They really enjoyed the show. Yeah, really cool move from Tony Khan dealing with Honor Club and going to Rev's comments from the shadows, from the Quicksand. I get it. It's a particular spot to be in. It's hard when you're second tier company, your secondary, I don't want to say second tier, but secondary company is struggling with finding a home, and you have opportunities, but you don't want to mess up the deal with your primary company, in this case, AEW, and it's several shows, whether it's Dynamite or Collision or whatever else. For a while, we had Rampage too. But yeah, all the respect in the world for Tony Khan for trying to make this right. And getting into it, like I said, guys, I am sorry. I can't really cover the conglomeration versus the premier athletes. The conglomeration was comprised of Ishii, Tomohiro Ishii, and Hologram taking on Arya Daivari and Tony Nese, who, of course, were flanked by everyone's least favorite lawyer, Smart Mark Sterling. The conglomeration did get the win. The good guys won to start off the show properly. And sorry, not much I can say. We're probably just going to go right past it. But what I did see, Hologram put in the work as he tends to do. Hologram was just bouncing off the ring, bouncing off the ropes, diving, jumping. And of course, Ishii is Ishii, putting people down with clotheslines and brainbusters. So fun matchup. Smart Mark Sterling took a couple of bumps at the very least. Great way to start the show. Moving on. All right, this one's spoiler free. So Rev, you're safe for right now. We had the ROH 6-man tag team championships on the line as the Sons of Texas took on Shane Taylor Promotions, being Shane Taylor, Carly Bravo, and Captain Sean Dean. Now, if you guys know, you've been paying attention, you've been watching, unfortunately, the Sons of Texas leader, Dustin Rhodes, has been taken out of action that he has to get double knee surgery, double knee replacements. I think he already went under the knife. Dustin, we're wishing you well. But the Von Erichs do not have a third. So filling in the gap is Dustin's tag team partner for the ROH Tag Team Championships, Sammy Guevara. So Sammy Guevara fitting in for the Sons of Texas. It was a nice storyline partnership. It was a nice way to make sense of what's going on with those titles, because Dustin, while going down, had 3 titles. He had the AEW TNT title, which he dropped on his way out to Kyle Fletcher. He had the ROH 6-man tag team titles, which he was sharing. Which he was sharing with the Von Erichs, and he has the ROH Tag Team Championships, which he was sharing with Sammy Guevara. So that is all very messy, but they made it work. Sorry. Taking on Shane Taylor Promotions, this was a fun matchup. Clashing styles, obviously, as Sammy Guevara is not Dustin Rhodes. Dustin may go for the occasional jump here and there. He may fling his body from time to time, but he is way more of a big old hoss. He's way more of a big old guy than Sammy ever was. He doesn't quite fit in with these 2 Von Erichs, and that was probably part of the story here. I've known, like I said, guys, we don't really cover ROH the way we should. We don't cover ROH as much as the other companies, but I do keep up with it from time to time. And there has been friction with Sammy and the Von Erichs, Sammy and what's going on with Dustin. There was a lot of tension when Dustin won the TNT title at Sammy's expense. So that definitely carried over here. The Philly crowd could not care one iota about Sammy. Lots of chanting at this poor kid's expense. Poor kid. Lots of booing, lots of cursing. Uh-oh. Somebody's back. I don't know why. I hope I'm not doing anything wrong. But yeah, this was a decent matchup. Finally, Shane Taylor Promotions getting some championship gold. It's been too long since this group that has been basically helping carry Ring of Honor both pre Tony Khan buyout and post Tony Khan buyout. 1 second. Oh, got a message from my producer. Oh, there you go. Thanks, man. This is what happens when I'm doing it by myself. But Shane Taylor Promotions getting the win, getting the championship gold. Like I said, long overdue for them to get some love here in Ring of Honor. There is an argument to be made that maybe it could have been Dark Order, but I'm hoping they're the ones to take the titles off of them. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how long it might take for another title change. But happy to see this group be pretty dominant in this new era. Moving on to our first women's match of the night, as we had the ROH Pure Championship Tournament quarterfinal match. Queen Aminata taking on Taya Valkyrie. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with Pure Championship rules or Pure Wrestling rules, basically no closed fists. You only have 3 rope breaks a person. So you can use the rope for submission escapes and pin escapes, but once you use them 3 times, it doesn't matter if you're holding onto that rope. Your opponent does not have to let go, and if you tap while holding it, it will still count. If you get pinned while holding the rope, you will still get pinned. So this match definitely favored Queen Aminata. Aminata way more used to this type of match. Taya did her best, but very quickly used at least 2 of her sorry guys, I was looking at the comments. But Taya Valkyrie using at least 2 of her rope breaks very quickly and in succession, getting herself out of trouble. Even commentary said Taya, not being too familiar with these match types, with these rules, not really benefiting herself. Eventually, the tide did turn a little bit in Aminata's favor, but in the end, after some chocolate kisses and some reversals, Queen Aminata got the win, putting down Taya Valkyrie and advancing into this tournament. But before she could advance into the tournament, my lower third comes true. She's back. Deonna Purrazzo, the Virtuosa, is back on television. And no, it's not in a picture-in-picture ad for her college. I am so happy to see her back. I have been waiting for her to come back. An incredible talent that hasn't been on TV for far too long. During the Ring of Honor press conference today, Tony was asked about Deonna's situation, why she hasn't been on TV. She hasn't been on AEW TV, I think, since February, and she hasn't been on Ring of Honor TV, I think, like a month or 2 after that. Tony revealed that there was an incident with Deonna down in Mexico, I guess with CMLL, and that led to some issues in terms of her being booked. But he did not disparage her. He did not put her down. He did not say anything that kind of put her at fault in any way. So very interesting situation that I would like to hear more about. But I'm just happy the Virtuosa is back. She confronted Queen Aminata. They got face-to-face, and that's going to be a match to watch. I'm very excited for the future of the ROH Women's Pure Championship, whoever the inaugural champion will be. Sorry, Aminata, big fan, but I am absolutely rooting for Deonna Purrazzo. Moving forward, just going to check the comments real quick. BX saying, didn't know the Bullet Club War Dogs were showing up tonight. I think that might have been during the pre-show, maybe? I don't really remember seeing them. Let me know. I watched the pay-per-view. Let me know when they were there. Okay. And Brody King was ringside for Bandido with all that bark. Oh my God, I hate you. I just understood the comments. Oh God, I am a dork. This is hey you all over again. Anyway, moving on. BX saying that the rumor was that she had a bad match. It wasn't anything backstage. That's worse. I could understand if there was an incident backstage and like they have to play ball because of something. I'm not thrilled with it, but I get it. But a bad match? One bad, like, no disrespect to that roster for Tony Khan, whether it's AEW or Ring of Honor. She is far from the first woman who's put on a bad match in his companies. And, hey, I'm a little protective, a little defensive. BX saying, seems to me that Tony let her go work the indies to go get that offer and then brought her back when the time was right. I know that there was always an expectation. She has said it too in interviews that she was going to come back for the Pure Women's tournament. That was always in the card. She was announced from the get-go for it. But the tournament kept getting delayed for various reasons. Either people were hurt or other plans sort of changed things. So we're here. That's all that matters. We're here. Moving on, we have a tag team match between Blake Christian and Lee Johnson, the Swirl, taking on OGK, the original Kingdom. Matt Taven, that is his name if you didn't know, and Mike Bennett, who is rocking the beardiest of beards. Wow. This match was fine. They established a little bit earlier. I didn't put a banner for it because it was so quick. Jay Lethal, who had wrestled on the pre-show, was being interviewed by Lexi Nair and got interrupted by Blake Christian. They acknowledged him as Ring of Honor royalty, as a Ring of Honor OG, and they intended on taking out other Ring of Honor OGs, other Ring of Honor royalty. In this case, the Kingdom royalty. Seriously, there. So Jay was watching from the back as this was happening. This was a fine matchup. Blake Christian, I know he faced a lot of criticisms early on. Not a lot of people liked his look. Not a lot of people were into his work rate. And I remember there being an incident that he didn't have one of the best matchups, that it was a little clunky, but I think he has just been delivering constantly. And Lee Johnson has been a great teammate for him. This match was a lot of fun, a lot of back and forth, more back and forth than I thought there would be. There were multiple pin breakups. At certain points, the Kingdom were just fine with taking themselves out if that meant taking out the other team. At one point, Taven was in a submission hold, and Bennett just drops. I forget if it was Blake or if it was Lee, just drops him on the teammate and Taven, securing the fact that he wouldn't tap out. So there was a lot of that throughout this matchup. Eventually, Blake and Lee getting the win, pinning Bennett, getting the 1-2-3. And I'd argue they're probably going to be in line for a tag team title shot sooner than later. I'm going to be careful about what I say because I don't want to spoil things for Rev. At a certain point, though, it's going to be hard. But yeah, this was a fun matchup. I feel a little bit bad for the Kingdom in general. Like, they were with Cole during the Devil stuff. They were with Roddy and everything. And then out of nowhere, they just got dropped when the Undisputed Kingdom turned into Paragon. And it never really sat right with me that they got essentially left behind and demoted. So happy to see them on an ROH pay-per-view. Happy to see them on a bigger show, even if it is a loss. The crowd, they like Taven. They like Taven, and I'm glad to see it. And yeah, moving on, we go to the men's Ring of Honor Pure Championship. As the champion, Lee Moriarty, who is the longest reigning Pure champion in Ring of Honor history, surpassing Nigel McGuinness, an OG with that title, took on, I'm going to struggle with the name, Zalua. This was another good one. ROH Pure Championship rules, like I said, rope breaks limited to 3, no closed fists. And this was a big one. And we didn't get to it before with Aminata and Taya, but it was a factor. It's just it didn't play in. There's a time limit. It's 15 minutes. Or it depends. There are time limits on all of them. This one, I think, had the hour-long time limit. It just it didn't go the full hour. I think the women, it was a 10-minute time limit for that matchup. But if it does go the full time limit, there are a table of judges who will decide who the winner was based off of performance. So early on, even commentary was saying, even though Lee wasn't doing poorly, Zalua definitely had his number, and he was definitely pushing him to the edge that if it went to the draw, it would probably result in a new champion. But eventually, Lee Moriarty is able to turn the tide. He's able to, even if he didn't get the win himself, the points were just on his side, and boy, were they. Eventually, Lee Moriarty getting the win, going over Zalua. As his father, a former wrestler in his own right, was in the crowd. Moriarty was then joined by Shane Taylor Promotions, and this group is looking dominant. They are looking very, very strong. So lots of love for this group. Like I said, I don't know what the end game is. I don't think Shane is going to go for the world title, especially if he's holding the six-man tag titles. But really cool to see this group be so dominant. Moving on to what was probably the most fun matchup of the night. We had a fight without honor, basically a hardcore rules match, a no disqualification match, as QT Marshall took on Paul Walter Hauser. Yes, that Paul Walter Hauser, star of Fantastic Four, star of Naked Gun, star of so many different movies. Paul has been working really, really, really hard to become a legitimate wrestler. He wrestles and is associated with MLW quite frequently. He has made appearances in AEW before. And if you're not a believer, watch this matchup. It's so awesome to have a celebrity named Paul wrestling that I can cheer for. These guys went at it. Now, let me remind you, they are still in the 2300 arena in Philadelphia. So this is a hardcore crowd, and they gave them hardcore. There was broken glass. There was table spots. There were chairs. There was Paul Walter Hauser was cut open. He was bleeding. He had a barbed wire baseball bat shoved in his face. At one point, QT Marshall went for a diamond cutter onto some broken glass, and Hauser was able to excellently counter it and just drop QT onto the glass. QT's lower back looked mangled, just absolutely mangled. So this was a fun matchup between these two guys. The finish coming after Paul went to the top rope. He gets low blowed by QT Marshall. Oh, I did forget, before we get to the finish, I did forget a really fun part of the matchup. QT, who was being seconded by Aaron Solo. Solo eventually gets involved in the match, costing momentum for Paul. Paul is then backed up by everybody's favorite chip eater, Hook. Hook comes out, new music and all still, comes out, chokes out Solo. And then when I say chokes out Solo, he dragged Solo out of the building. He kept him in the red rum the entire time and dragged him out. It was a lot of fun. It was really cool to see Hook back. Like, Hook made his grand return this last Wednesday, and now we've gotten him twice in 2 days. I'm here for it. Really happy for this kid that he's back on TV. But getting to the finish, Paul Walter Hauser is on the top rope. I don't know why I'm saying his full name, but Paul is on the top rope where QT hits him with a massive low blow and then hits a diamond cutter from the top rope through a table in the middle of the ring. 1, 2, 3. QT Marshall pins Paul Walter Hauser, but despite winning, gains some respect for Hauser. Hauser is down, getting up, and QT gives him a fist bump and then gets out of there, showing the sign of respect, even though this was a fight without honor. Really cool to see. I would love for more stuff for Paul Walter Hauser. He brought his beloved Golden Globe in for the matchup, used it as a weapon. I really, really respect what this guy's doing. I really respect, if you look, like, he's got a successful career in film and television. He's got a successful career. He doesn't need to be wrestling. Hell, he doesn't need to be wrestling hardcore matches, but he's doing it for love of the game. He's doing it for passion. And that's what I love to see. That's what I want to see more of. Really cool to to watch this matchup. And like I said, definitely the most fun matchup of the night. If you haven't watched a Paul Walter Hauser match, start here. Absolutely start here. Moving on, Rev, this is where you got to be careful, pal. We had the ROH World Tag Team Championships on the line as Sammy Guevara and his mystery partner took on those sons of bitches, the Outrunners. Now, again, you guys know the story. His partner is usually Dustin Rhodes, but Dustin Rhodes is hobbling right now, unfortunately. No knees or new knees, and he needed a replacement. Oh, that's awesome, Dan. That's awesome. Good for you. I'm glad you had a good time at that game. That sounds like that was a lot of fun. But Sammy, throughout the night, it was teased that he was going to use one of his teammates from the Sons of Texas, one of the Von Erichs. But when the time came, it was neither. It was a surprise. It was Roosh. Yes, former two-time Ring of Honor World Champion Roosh came out and was Sammy's tag team partner. There was some speculation as to whether this was pre-planned. This was, oh, that is cool. There was some speculation whether or not Sammy had this in the bag for a while, or if this was a last-minute grab as a tag team partner. But either way, it was the right choice. Roosh, who hasn't really been doing too much of note in a while, definitely getting the rub from being in a big title match on ROH, and Guevara getting a tough tag team partner. And he needed it as the Outrunners brought the absolute fight to these guys. Eventually, the match ends with Roosh hitting his corner drop kick, getting the 1-2-3, pinning the Outrunners, and we have they were a little weird with it on commentary if this is considered a new title reign for Sammy, because technically it's like a new partner, or if his reign continues. They've been very odd about how they've described it. But either way, our new Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions, Sammy Guevara and Roosh. After the match, Dralistico came out, and it became very clear that it seems Sammy is now joining LFI, which might be a great move for him. So let's give that some time. I know Dan in the comments saying that this is an interesting team. And also bringing up that he doesn't think it should count as a new reign. I agree with you. The only precedent that I seem to remember in wrestling that involved this was when Cody Rhodes was teaming with Hardcore Holly, with Bob Holly, and then they were challenged by Ted DiBiase Jr. And then Cody turned out to be DiBiase's partner. And then when they won, it counted as a second title reign for Cody. Now, granted, that's a little bit different, but it's weird. It's weird. So we'll see how Ring of Honor is going to count this. We're going to see if Sammy now has a second title reign in his resume. I don't think he should. I kind of agree with Dan on this one. But either way, these are our champions. As Dralistico is out there celebrating with Roosh and with Sammy, out come the Von Erichs. The Von Erichs, who are a little confused, a little upset about this new development with Sammy. Sammy tries to keep peace between LFI and the Von Erichs, gives them a big hug, says that this is family. This is family. There's no need to fight. He then betrays the Von Erichs, super kicks them, and opens the door for LFI to just absolutely beat them down. We then go very quickly, very awkwardly backstage, where the Outrunners must have sprinted to the back to be interviewed by Lexi Nair. Lexi at that shadow was terrifying. These dogs are scaring the crap out of me. Lexi is asking them about their tough defeat, but before they're able to say anything, before they're even able to get a word out, Shane Taylor Promotions walks through with all of their championships, the 6-man tag titles, the pure title. They kind of laugh and mock the Outrunners, who look very frustrated as they leave them behind. Now, maybe this is going to lead to the Outrunners finding a third to take on Shane Taylor Promotions. I have no idea who that could be. If you guys have any suggestions, please leave it in the comments. But really, really interesting. Dan, going back to the tag title situation with Sammy, says, well, because Cody technically lost the title, so it counts. He might be the only person in history to lose a championship to himself / win a championship from himself. Pretty interesting trivia note. If anybody can think of another one, let's put that in. Dan also saying Chelsea didn't get a new one when Piper took over. See, I agree with you. And I feel like there are way more examples of the latter of this situation, like with Chelsea and Piper, than with, like, again, Raquel and Roxy, for example. So, yeah, it shouldn't count as a new title reign, but time will tell, I guess, on that one. Moving on to War. Wow. The Ring of Honor World Championship on the line as Bandido defends against Hechicero. Hechicero, who is a member of the Don Callis family. Hechicero, who had Don Callis with him at ringside and on commentary. I don't know how to describe what this match was. It had everything. It had everything from both of these guys. It's funny because commentary was talking about Hechicero and they were really building him up. They said he's everything that he looks like. If he looks strong, he's strong. If he looks fast, it's because he is fast. If he looks smart, he is smart. He is an all-around threat to Bandido and the ROH title. And even that great description of the man wasn't enough to properly exemplify how much of a threat he was to Bandido in this matchup. Bandido doing everything, throwing everything, and if he could have, he would have, including the kitchen sink at Hechicero. He was high-flying. He was powerhousing. There were submission back and forth between these guys. Hechicero multiple times going after Bandido's mask, trying to rip it off his face. Eventually, Bandido following suit and trying to rip off Hechicero's mask. At one point, his face does get exposed a little bit. And even then, commentary and, of course, Don were putting him over as, wow, what a good-looking guy he is under that mask. Incredible. This and the main event, the ROH Women's World Championship, were both incredible matchups. I cannot say enough good things about it. If you're going to watch one match tonight, I think this is it. I think the men's world title match was the match of the night. Just absolute banger. These guys were just doing everything they could, to get the win here. The finish coming after a very scary outside move. As Bandido tried hitting a code red onto Hechicero to the outside from the apron, Hechicero counters it. And he kind of does. I don't even know what he did. I'm sorry if there's a name for this move. I was just flabbergasted. He had him on his back in like a deadeye kind of position, a dude buster kind of position. But then he got him up and spun him in midair onto the floor, landing, unfortunately, on Hechicero, kind of, I don't want to say botching it because it still looks great, but unfortunately not quite sticking the landing. Hechicero then gets him into the ring. After some submission back and forth, Bandido goes for the 21 plex. It's countered, but then he is still able to hit him with the straight jacket German suplex, getting the 1-2-3 in a 37-minute matchup. Absolutely incredible. I cannot say enough good things about this match. At one point, I believe it was Ian Riccaboni, the commentator, says that Bandido is his pick for Wrestler of the Year. And while I have to think about it, I might not have to think all that hard about it. Bandido has been killing it. Now, not only the Ring of Honor World Champion, but also one half of the AEW World Tag Team Champions as well, along with Brody King. Just incredible performer, just consistently showing off and showing up. really, 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 really wanting big things for Bandido. And Hechiseto, tonight wasn't his night, but his night will come. This guy is incredible, and he was a fantastic foil to the Ring of Honor champion, Bandido. Now, moving on to our main event, the forever ROH Women's Champion, Athena, defends against the interim ROH Women's Television Champion, Mina Shirakawa, in her 69th title defense. I don't know if that's true, but Mina at one point said that Athena had 68 wins and she would not be able to 69 Mina. I'm quoting. I promise. I'm quoting. Another great matchup. It's a shame that these two matches needed to go back to back, because the crowd admittedly was there for both of these matchups. They gave all four performers everything that they could, but just it was just so much at once that was just so good. Athena coming out, of course, with her minion Billy Starks, but came out with a little bit of extreme love too, as the Blue Meanie came out. The Blue Meanie proving himself to be a minion in training. He even gets Athena to do the Blue Meanie dance. And Athena liked it. She had fun with it. They get in the ring. Meanie starts dancing with Mina, and that was enough to have Athena just get him out of there. It was funny. It was a nice little pop moment for the hardcore crowd in Philadelphia, the ECW loyalists. So always funny to see someone like Meanie show up on TV. So that was really cool. This match, I think the only way I can properly describe it is fighting spirit. These women went at it. Athena targeting Mina's broken hands, or formerly broken hands, repeatedly going after her, taking shots, getting her trapped at the turnbuckle, and then just pounding on the hand. It was really, really well done. There were a couple of moments where I knew better than to think that Mina was going to win the title. It's not a knock on her. I know how good she is. We all know how good she is. It's simply a matter of I didn't imagine that the interim ROH TV champion was going to beat the ROH champion. Call me a smark, I guess, but I just had a feeling. But this match was absolutely excellent. Athena hitting an O-face to the outside, obviously not being able to pin Mina off of that. Mina getting in so much offense. Lots of stuff off the top rope. Lots of submission holds from both of them. But eventually, Athena gets the win with the big second O-face, 1, 2, 3, and the championship reign continues to climb to 1,000. Something that I don't think anybody predicted when this title reign started. Something that I don't think... I don't know how we're here, but we're here, and it's freaking cool. Like, I've been an advocate that I thought Athena should have lost it a little while ago, just because I think on some level she might be, not harming the division, but there are people who would have benefited from beating her. Billy Starks has had multiple opportunities to ascend off this. But regardless, we are now at 993 plus days. She's going to hit 1,000. It's going to be awesome. So congratulations to the forever ROH Women's Champion, Athena. Looking forward to whoever will dethrone her. But I don't want to be... I wouldn't want to try. Oh, she beat my ass. But guys, thank you so much. It is 1 a.m. Why are you here with me? That's nuts. We're all crazy people. Or I guess sickos, according to Tony Khan. But thank you so much for joining me here tonight or this morning at the Mark It Down podcast for Ring of Honor's Death Before Dishonor. I had a lot of fun watching this. I highly recommend it to whoever can. It's only $10 for Honor Club. Absolutely worth the price of admission. Absolutely worth the price to watch the show. Remember, guys, if you already have Honor Club, you guys are going to be rewarded, like I will be, with a month of free Honor Club due to the issues that they had technically in the beginning of the night, and just two absolute banger main events for the two world championships, and a really fun fight without honor between QT Marshall and Paul Walter Hauser. But anyway, guys, thanks again for joining me. You know the deal. We appreciate you. If you're one of our regulars, thank you for sticking with us all this time. We're just getting bigger and bigger, and it means so much to have you grow. The dog agrees. If you're a newbie and this is your first time watching us, I don't know what brought you here, but thank you. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. It means a lot. It really does. We have a lot of fun here on the pod, and the more fun we have is because of you guys. So please, hit it up. If you want to check us out in different places, we're all over social media too. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. We're on Blue Sky. We're on X. We're all the fun kids are. I don't know if X is where the fun kids are, but where all the fun kids are. So thank you so much. My name is James Gisanti. That's Duncan barking. Have a great night. Watch wrestling. Watch Ring of Honor. And I'm so tired. Bye.